Hi everyone, it's Teacher Bex here with another video. Today I'm going to be talking about Allschool. So I did one video before this one about my general impressions about Allschool after being on the platform for only about 2 weeks. But now I've been on the platform for over a month and have taught so many classes already. I wanted to give you my honest experience and I want to talk about a lot of things. How much I've made over this last month, what my experience was like with the kids that are still taking classes on Allschool, what my experience has been like with other teachers that I've met over this last month, and everything else. Without further ado, let's get into it. So the first thing that I want to cover is the hiring process. There are teachers right now that are trying to get hired with Allschool, and they're wondering why the application process is taking them so long. I saw a message that somebody left on Facebook asking, why is nobody getting back to me? I've been sitting on this for 2 months already. It took me 3 months to get hired with Allschool, which is an absurd amount of time. When I first found out about Allschool, I made it my mission to get hired as fast as possible. Every other day, I was trying to send a message to their support team asking them, when am I gonna get an update? How long is this gonna take me? Because I wanted them to just know that I was on it and that I wanted them to be on it as well. I'm gonna give you guys the dates of when I applied, when every single step of the application process got approved, and all the way until the day that I finally got hired, so you can get an understanding of what it's like right now to get hired with Allschool. So I first created my account on May 12th of 2023. Right after I created my account, I submitted that first section where you just have to pretty much give your qualifications and explain who you are. It's very basic. I submitted that right away, and that section got approved within 24 hours. Step 1 done. There's only 3 steps, so I was like, this is great. I'm gonna be done with this super fast. Now it's the next day, it's May 13th. I've got that first section out of the way. Now it's time to upload my demo video. So I upload that video on May 13th, and I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna wait. I'm waiting. A week goes by, 2 weeks go by. At that point, after like the 2-week mark, I just start sending their support messages saying, when should I expect to get an answer from you? It's the summertime, it's the peak teaching time. I want to be teaching during this time. Their support is slow to respond. It takes them a few days to get back to me, but they tell me they're working on it. They will push my inquiry to somebody of a higher level that can push things along. I'm just glad that they're communicating with me. Fast forward to almost a month later, June 7th is when I finally get the message saying my demo video was approved. Whew, what a relief, right? It's already about a month in, and I'm thinking, okay, one more step to go. This is gonna be a piece of cake. So that last step has to do with your education and your background check. So you have to provide them with educational documents like your degree, and you have to either give them a background check that you've gotten done recently, or you have to allow them to do a background check on you. I gave them my education documents really easily, a picture of my degree. I did not have a recent background check, and I knew right away this would be a huge issue because they had spent so long getting me approved for my demo video that I was like, if I have to wait for an outside company to do a background check on me, it's gonna take so long. So I spent like days upon days searching my email, trying to like find an old background check. I could not. I submit my documents. I submit them right away on June 7th of 2023. Again, I do not hear anything from anybody. I'm not getting any approval on any steps. So I'm again sending messages to their support every 3 or 4 days, asking for an update. Finally, on June 26th, which is again a few weeks later, I get approval for the education part of that 3rd step. So they approved my degree, I'm good, but I still haven't had the background check. So at this point, I reach out to support again to get an idea of the timeline, and they say Sterling, which is the background check provider, is gonna reach out to me within a couple of days and is gonna do a background check. Sterling never reaches out to me. Weeks go by. I actually reach out to Sterling by email and ask, do you guys have me on record anywhere? Are you planning on giving me a background check or what? They respond to me saying they have no record of who I am. They have no record of what Allschool is. And I'm like, okay, sure. Finally, on August 8th, I get a random email from Allschool saying, congratulations, you passed your education portion. Now you should be receiving an email from Sterling within the next few days for your background check. I'm like, finally. This is great. On August 9th, just 1 day later, I did not get that background check email. I just got an email saying, you're hired. You passed the background check. What? Okay, I guess they're not doing background checks anymore. So I got hired without one. Now I'm a teacher. So I officially got hired on August 9th. I submitted my classes that same day, and there was a pretty fast turnaround. By August 10th, I already had at least one class approved on that platform, and I was ready to teach. That was my 3-month application process. It should have been done in 3 days. It should have been done in 3 weeks, not 3 months. And I followed up every other day. Like, I was messaging support all the time. They weren't really getting back to me that often. That was my experience. Now I'm gonna tell you about the type of experimentation I did on Allschool to figure out what the right price point was to use and what the general sentiment was from the students when it came to price. I started off putting my classes at $20 each because there were such good classes. I can't discount them lower than that. Within the first week, I got 3 signups at that price point. So I was like, great, this is a good price point to be at. And I thought, well, let me just do the same strategy that I did on Outschool, which is put so many classes. So I went ahead and put 24 hours worth of class times. I put a class on every hour of the day. You might think like, Teacher Bex, you're crazy. You cannot teach 24 hours a day. But I already knew that those classes would not all get booked, and this would be a good way for me to understand what are the best times to have my classes at. So I scheduled 24-hour-a-day classes for 2 weeks straight. This is how many enrollments I got in those 2 weeks. 0. I got 0 enrollments in those 2 weeks. And I just thought, well, what's going on here? I got those 3 enrollments really fast from different kids in that first week. Why am I not getting any now? And I've opened my availability as wide as somebody could possibly make it. Then I started doing some market research. I started looking at what other teachers were pricing their class at, and it seemed like the most competitive, most popular classes were priced around $10 or less. After about a week of not having any enrollments at the $20 price point, I put a $5 coupon on my classes to see if that would help in that second week. It did not help. I still didn't get any enrollments. I decided to change the price of my classes to $10. Within that first week, I started getting bookings. But here's where things went really wrong. I forgot I had that $5 coupon on my classes. So what kids were getting were a great class for $10 minus $5, and what I would end up taking, because I'm on a 75% split, I ended up getting $3.75 for a 45-minute class. And my classes only had 1 student in them. Not a good idea. I had to teach those classes that were at the cheaper price point because those students already enrolled and I didn't want to disappoint them. Afterwards, I quickly got rid of that coupon. Let me tell you what I'm doing now and what I'm seeing working out for me. So now what I'm doing is I have one class that I think is going to be really popular and that's been doing well. I have that at a cheaper price, and then I have my other classes at a higher price. And so I kind of reel in students with that one class that I think kids will really love right now. And then they are willing to pay the higher price for my other classes because they know that the class quality is going to be good. Here's my experience with bookings and how the $10 is working. I'm getting bookings at a lot of different times between the hours of 6 p.m. to 4 a.m. I cannot teach past 2 a.m. I've had learners that have signed up for 4 and 3 a.m. and I've had to cancel those classes because I thought I could, but I cannot. Most of my students are from China, or at least it seems that way, but I have students every day from other places of the world. There are kids from New Zealand, from Australia. People from other countries are actually participating. An issue that I've had with students as I've been teaching is there have been a lot of students that wanted to transfer to a different class time, and Allschool does not allow you to do that. You can't pick up one student, put them into a different class time. That is something that they can potentially do on their own, but if they ask the teacher to do that, I have personally not figured out how to do that yet. And it's made it a little bit difficult for kids that can't attend a certain time. The actual students that I'm teaching, their English proficiency is varied. I have students with pretty good English proficiency about 30% of the time. Another 30% is students that have very basic level proficiency, but it's enough where they can understand. They might not be able to say too many words, but they can understand, which is great. And then I have another 40% of kids that can't understand or speak that well, but their parents, put them in these classes anyways. It really reminds me of my time teaching with Q Kids. When I was teaching with Q Kids, I had students that didn't really speak English that well, and I just had to be super animated and talk really slow. I found that with these learners that are ESL learners, sometimes I have to do that. So it's a little bit hard with the Chinese kids, but with some of the kids from the other countries, it's actually really nice because they have good English already. So my strategy now to get enrollments is to open up as many time slots as I can to keep a low price point on at least one of my classes so I can get students in. Now what I'm doing a lot is just a lot of marketing and a lot of word of mouth. Allschool still doesn't have a bunch of kids taking classes on their platform, at least it doesn't feel that way. So I've been marketing my classes to people I know, people in my community, people with kids that have similar interests. They are the ones that are taking my classes and they're helping me get reviews and build up a reputation. It's been working out pretty well. So that's what I've had to do because Allschool doesn't seem to be promoting my classes and doing the marketing that needs to be done in order to get really full classes. So now I'm gonna tell you how much I got paid every single week in my first month of teaching on Allschool. I got hired on August 9th and my first class got approved on August 10th. Afterwards, I started building out my schedule and opening up my availability. So the first time I actually saw that I was getting a payment was on August 27th, and it was for $45, and it posted on their website that this was how much I was gonna get. It took about 3 days for it to hit my bank account after that. From August 10th all the way to August 27th, like I was very worried. I had taught those 3 learners in my first week, sometime around August 14th or so. But I guess that wasn't within the time frame that they need to pay you out. So I had to wait 7 days from that class and then another few days after that to actually get paid. The next week I got paid again. This time I got a whopping $5. And that $5 was just from one referral that I invited to come onto the platform and to check out my class. I had actually taught a good amount of classes that week, but because you have to wait 7 days after the class ends in order for them to confirm the payment, all of those classes I taught that week, they weren't counted in that $5. It was pretty pitiful to see a $5 payout, but I was happy nonetheless. My third payout was on September 17th. For $245.25. This was finally taking into account all of the classes that I taught the week prior. This was taken into account the new enrollments that I was getting at this lower price point, as well as kids that were coming in to the platform from my own marketing. My initial goal was to get $1,000 a week, so it can be for a month and it can actually feel like as much money as somebody would make in a full-time job. The fourth payout that I got was on September 24th, and it was for $313.75. Now I had again increased how much I was getting paid out. I'm starting to get more traction. There's more word of mouth happening and people are just generally liking the class and leaving great reviews. My goal for October is to hit a 5-figure month on Allschool. Now you might be wondering, how can you jump from getting, let's say, $1,000 in 1 month to getting $10,000 in 1 month or more? And I think this is really gonna come down to marketing. I'm gonna use my marketing skills to get the type of traction and to really attract the type of students that I want taking my classes. I will keep you updated on if I'm gonna be reaching that goal or not. And I plan on making more videos like this where I tell you how much I make each week so you get a realistic idea of how well the platform is doing. Because there are continuing to be rumors about the platform going down, the platform shutting down. Teachers are very pessimistic about this platform, but so far they've continued to pay out teachers on a weekly basis. So as long as they're paying me, I'm gonna keep teaching on there. Last thing I wanna mention is that their customer support is just non-existent right now. They take 3 weeks to reply to you. They might not even reply to you at all. I think I sent them about 5 messages in the last 3 weeks about certain issues, and they only responded to 1 of those messages a few days ago. It took them a few weeks to do that. So that's just still really concerning for me. I have no idea what's going on behind the scenes with Allschool and their staff, if they even have any staff. I'm really tempted to go to Singapore and to find their office and to find the guy that created Allschool and be like, guy, what's going on? It's really, really nerve-wracking to teach on a platform where you don't have support from the company. On a really positive note, I'm gonna end this video by saying that since my last Allschool video, I've gotten in touch with so many Allschool teachers, and I feel like the teachers that I have talked to are fabulous people. They are working hard. They're doing their best with this platform. I'm glad that we have each other, because if we don't have them, we have each other. Good luck to all my Allschool teachers. Good luck to all of my ESL teachers, all of my online teachers. I hope that the platforms that you're on are treating you well, that you feel like you're well compensated for your work. I just hope that we can be prosperous in our remote working situation. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I can't wait to share more about what I'm doing with Allschool and things that I'm doing outside of Allschool. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. And if you are a current Allschool teacher or an Outschool teacher or any type of teacher, leave your experience down below on how classes are going for you, how your work situation is going for you, because I would love to foster a community of like-minded teachers, and I would love for us to all support each other. Thank you again for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, everybody.